Yo everyone, Colonel Kristen Thompson here, and welcome to round 3 of my interviews on people you should get to know across the wing. First one was with our professional development experts and our ALS instructors. Our second one was with our technical advisor, Mr. Jeff Johnson. And my third one is here with Lt Col Andrew Stewart. And we are in the Martin Bomber building this morning to do this interview. Andy is the Mission Support Group Deputy. He's also a dear friend of mine and someone I've known for a really long time. In fact, I think we've known each other for 22, maybe 23 years.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We have a special bond. We grew up in the same cadet squadron together. I'm a bit older, maybe not wiser.
Just 1 year. Just 1 year, man.
However, our common background and that common bond is really special, and it's something for me to highlight this morning. Andy helps run one of the largest and busiest MSGs in the Air Force, and he's obviously holding it down while Colonel Jason Cooley is deployed in support of the Afghan NEO. So we're very proud of Jason, of course, but we're also tremendously proud of the MSG and Andy, and of course, Miss Nikki Nader, who's also helping Andy run the MSG while Jason's out. I tell folks all the time that I like people that are direct, that give me the tough feedback and also make you feel calm and secure, and bring out my inner Southern California chill. And that's exactly what Andy does. There's no person that does it better than him. And so I just wanted to highlight that aspect. So Andy, thanks so much for being awesome, for being you, and I think we'll jump right in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you obviously have a lot of experience in the MSG world, and we'll talk a lot about that during the interview. But let's start with something cool that is not in your bio, but you would like to share or you'd like others to know about you.
I got a couple that I can come up to the top of my head, but I have 7 children.
Yes.
4 girls and 3 boys. So a lot of people are like, you know, how crazy is your house? And I tell people I come to work for a break. My wife is a saint. She holds down the house and takes care of all that logistics, so I come to work and take care of the work side. So that's definitely something that keeps us on our toes, and when I leave work, our schedule is just as busy as when I'm at work. So I'm also having 7 kids. I drink a lot of coffee. So in my
Rightfully so.
Yeah, I became really interested in coffee a few years ago, and I started like messing around with different ways to brew it, and then I got to where I roast it. So I have a commercial coffee roaster at home, not a big one, but a small one, and I roast my own coffee. So I do that all the time, and now I can't drink regular coffee because it doesn't taste as good. So that's probably one of my main hobbies, that's other than following my children all over. So
Love it. Well, I would like to come over to your house and have some of that.
Absolutely.
I need it on a daily basis. Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about our setting. You know, why would we do our interview here in the Martin Bomber building? What makes this place so special and so unique?
Well, the history of this building is amazing.
Yeah.
I love history and Air Force history, so the fact that, you know, so many bombers rolled out of here during World War II is awesome. But being in this building brings a huge connection to me. I've spent my career as a LRS officer my entire career, and so all this equipment, the civil engineering, large equipment, all these things, I always, you know, we worked on it all the time to keep it running and keep the mission happening. And so being in this building where, you know, the hardworking airmen of, you know, both the civil engineering squadron and the LRS are in here making sure that they keep all these big pieces of equipment running for when that first snowstorm hits, hopefully not too soon,
Yeah.
to clear the roads, clear the runways, and keep everything moving. So that's really unsung heroes a lot of times of a lot of bases. So being in here around these airmen and this equipment is just kind of like home to me.
Yeah, love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's talk about your role as the MSG deputy. What are your roles and responsibilities, and what is a day in the life of Andy Stewart like?
So, MSG deputy it's an awesome job.
Yeah.
It's super diverse. You never know what you're going to deal with on a daily basis.
True.
I always tell people as a deputy, my job is to stay out of the way of previously Colonel Dayton and now Colonel Cooley, quietly tell them what they need to help them do the job daily. And so definitely do that every day. But yeah, just it's so diverse. You never know what's going to hit your plate any given day as you come into work. And it can be anything from, something, FSS or cons or CE or LRS or security forces. It's just, it's wild every day. And I really enjoy doing it. I enjoy the challenges it presents every day for me. And we have an amazing team here at Offutt that just make things happen. And I normally can just find the right person. As long as I find that right person that's the expert in that area, I make sure they know what the issue is, and then they go and work it, and I always get great results. So,
all factual. You do have a tremendous team, and I would say the only thing predictable about the MSG is that it's unpredictable.
That is very true. Very true.
Keeps you on your toes, of course. What would you say are your biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges. So I'll be honest here. My biggest challenge has been the inconsistency, because I arrived here in, let's see, it would have been 2019, right after the flood in June 2019. Immediately had a turnover and change of command with Colonel Dayton taking command.
Yeah.
Previously it was Colonel Norton who hired me here. So went into that, and he, much like Colonel Cooley, within a month got deployed for hurricane support. So
right.
I immediately got thrown into, hey, Andy, you're in charge. So we had a big time where he was gone, he got back. Less than a month later, I got tasked for a short notice deployment to Saudi Arabia. So 4 months after arriving here, left, went to Saudi Arabia for what was supposed to be a nice 4-month tour that turned into a 7-month tour.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, I missed my 7th baby's birth, which is the only birth I missed, amazingly, in my career. But missed that.
Remarkable.
Got back. Colonel Dayton was happy that I was back.
Yeah.
We had then almost a solid 12 months together. And then Colonel Cooley comes in, and within a month he deploys.
That's right. That's right.
Like, so far I'm going to have 3 years here, and I've only had both of us in the seat for 12 months of that. So that has been a huge challenge, trying to deal with that, with all the stuff that's going on between flood recovery, the runway rebuild, the COVID, and then you add on top of that just the day-to-day mission, making it happen. So it's been a real challenge. Just we never seem to have the full team here always, and that makes it a challenging time. So
I know. I had a mentor that always tell me, in every challenge and opportunity, you've had numerous opportunities and numerous challenges, and of course, you've done a great job throughout all of them, which I know you're very proud of, and people are very proud of you for the same. Why do you like your job? And then second part would be, what do you want your legacy to be here at Offutt in the 55th Wing?
I like my job, and like I said earlier, it's just, I like that every day when you come in, it's not just going to be the same thing. It's going to be something different, something new, something that challenges you in good and bad ways, no matter what. But I like that. I like the breadth of the job. The breadth is amazing. The breadth, when I was an LRS guy, the breadth of that unit was just amazing. And so every day you came in, you knew you were going to have a new challenge, something that you could go out and grab a hold of and try to conquer for the day, and then the next day you come in for another one. So I think that's why I love the job. That's why I've stayed around this long and kept doing it. So
love it.
Legacy, I told everybody I was going to tell them my legacy was that I had a squadron mate become the 55th Wing Commander.
Oh God.
No, I think legacy-wise, like you said up front, I've always been a very honest person, a very straight shooter. I tell people exactly what I'm thinking, but I feel like I've always been fair. I think if you speak to anyone that's been in a squadron that I commanded or in a unit that I've been around, they'll tell you I'm not always easy to be around. Sometimes when I'm a little honest, it's kind of hard.
That's why we like you.
but I think I'm fair. I always treat everyone fairly. I look at every situation individually and make sure that I'm treating every airman fairly in those situations. So I think my legacy will be that I'm fair. Yeah.
And I would say too, when we're sitting at the big table and we're making big time decisions over stuff that's really important to this wing, having you there is a calming influence. And even amongst 06s, you as an 05 command a tremendous amount of respect, and nobody would have it any other way. They want you there, they want you at that table, and they know anything that you bring is is always spot on advice and very wise counsel. So thank you for all of that, of course. Okay, to bring it all home, can you talk about why you joined the Air Force and how your experiences have shaped you and how your career has made you into what you are today?
Well, I joined the Air Force, you know, I decided, it was like my sophomore year in high school, I saw this Air Force Academy thing and I was like, I don't know what that is, right? And I started looking at it a little more and you know, talking to my parents about it, and it kind of became a thing where I was like, hey, I've always been a person that wants challenge, and I said, that's a challenge. That'll be a challenge every day. And so, you know, I really, I'll be honest, I should have done a lot more research to understand what it all entailed, but I really, you know, a young kid, I thought it looked really like a really challenging opportunity. So I got there and it was very challenging for me. The 4 years was not always the easiest thing, as you know. You're faced with lots of different challenges, but I got out, I graduated, got into active duty, and immediately in the job I was in, I was handed like 50 some airmen. And I had a big senior master sergeant that used to keep a hold of my collar. Rick Shaner, that guy would keep a hold of my collar and be like, all right, LT, I'll tell you what to do. But that job really made me love the airmen that we got to work with every day. And so I just kept going, and I couldn't let it go. For many years, it was like that was the thing. And so, going into work every day, working around the great airmen that we have, just was awesome. Then, I got an opportunity to deploy as a pretty young officer. I was a first lieutenant on my first deployment, and being downrange and seeing what we're doing every day downrange, and I was in Iraq, and it was amazing to me. And so I was like, hey, I could do this. The problem is I ended up deploying 6 times in my career, gone a lot, but I think that's what kept me going. It was challenging being away from home and the family, but it was, knowing that you were doing something that was making a difference every day was awesome, and it kept me around as long as I've been around. So it's been an awesome career. I am retiring next summer at 20 years. I feel like I'm done being away from home. I think I spent over 1,000 days in my career in the CENTCOM AOR. So spent a lot of time there. I tell everybody I spent a whole PCS assignment in that AOR.
No doubt.
It's time to try something different. Another challenge. I want to see what the future holds. So I'm excited about that.
Well, listen, the Air Force's loss is the rest of the world's gain, and I know for a fact, like, no matter what you do, you're gonna be successful in whatever it is, because that's you.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's the epitome of you. All right, so concluding our interview, Annie, I just want to say that you're the best. I tell everybody, but I especially want to tell you, just continue to be you. Don't ever change. Keep being a problem solver. And thanks for always mentoring up to me. I'm very, very appreciative of all of your help and all of your counsel across my last 6-7 months that I've been here. It's been truly remarkable, and it was really nice to step into a new role and to have a friend that was here to grab me by the collar and tell me what to do.
Thank you, man.
So this concludes this week's interview. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a really good week. And if you see this gentleman walking around campus, shake his hand or give him a high five and tell him how much you appreciate him, because he truly is a remarkable leader and a dear friend and a wonderful friend of the 55th Wing. So thanks everyone out here.